In this video, you will learn to understand why it's so extremely important to take your desires seriously. You don't have desires for no reason at all. There is actually a massive secret hidden behind every single desire that you do have in your life. So make sure that you stay until the end of the video, because you will fully understand how your desires are so extremely important and why you have to take them extremely seriously. Before we dive into the video, that was, by the way, recorded when we were still living in Bali, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel and that you press the little bell so that you don't miss another update, because this is the channel for you if you are planning to become a parent in the near future and you truly want to live a conscious, happy dream life together with your future children. Let's dive in.
Every single day I'm gonna make something great.
Hey, I'm gonna do a little breakfast talk with you. So I'm just having my breakfast. This is exactly how my life is. I get so many insights, and this is what I want to encourage you to do as well. So as soon as you get an insight, write it down. I have my paper here. It's like this is all going on the whole time in my world, and it didn't used to be like this. I used to feel like a victim, and you already know this if you have studied anything on my material before. I used to feel like such a victim. But nowadays, I see everything as super interesting. And what I was just thinking about, that you are learning in this course as well, is that your soul has a plan. And I was just thinking about the interview that I'm gonna do with one of the thought leaders regarding the soul's plan, and how fascinating this is. Like, how I was led to his book from the first beginning, because I found him on YouTube, and I was like, I'm so fascinated by his material. And then I asked him if we could do an interview, and he said yes to do that interview. So I felt like, okay, I actually have to read his book before I do the interview. So I ordered his book, but it was like super thick. And since I have dyslexia, I was really intimidated by that book. But I was like, okay, since I gotta do the interview, I will actually have to read the book. Started to read it. I came like half through the book, and I was so impressed. And through those pages, through that half of the book, I was reading it in Thailand, and I remember this moment sitting on the balcony in Thailand in the evening, looking out. Like, it was totally dark black, but I was hearing the sounds of the waves, because the apartment that my cousin Sarah, that her parents has, is quite close to the ocean. So I was listening to the ocean and reading my book, like having mosquitoes everywhere. But anyway, I got it. I was like, I planned this. This is what he's talking about, this book. That your soul has a plan. Your soul has planned your life's event before you're born. And I was like, it dawned on me. I had already been hearing him talking about this, but when I read this exact page in the book, talking about how you plan your relationships, and that they are supposed to help you grow, I was like, oh my goodness, I planned every single part of this. I was like, okay, so my ex-husband, he really came into my life. We had a soul's plan, and I actually even seen that in hypnosis, that we made that commitment to each other as souls before entering this world. And we made a commitment that he would come into my life when I doubted the most that I was ever going to be loved. He came into my life as the biggest, like, loving energy thing. And he helped me. I was gonna say he healed me, but he did, kind of. So we merged into one, and this is like the purpose, what we have to learn. Like, you can never have another person to complete you, because then you will be totally dependent on that person, which I was totally in this physical world. I was totally dependent on him. I was so afraid, so he worked as an ice hockey player, so he traveled a lot, and every single time he was gonna go on a flight, on an airplane, I was like, please be safe, please be safe. I was so extremely afraid that he would die, and I thought that if I went away somewhere, I would die. So I was living so much in fear, because he completed me. We were one together. But the more I started to grow, the more I started to learn from hypnosis, and the more I started to see my own power, the more I started to love myself. And the stronger I became, this may sound horrible, but the less I needed him. And the less I needed him, I could actually realize, like, well, I am not in love anymore. And to see this from, even when I say this, I can hear my mind is going like, Linda, you shouldn't even share this because it's horrible. But that's my mind. My ego is telling me this. And this is, from the mind's perspective, it's really, really hard to understand all of this. But from the soul's perspective, it makes perfect sense. If my soul's plan is to grow and thrive on this planet and to teach all of this to you, then I would have to go through all of these steps, because otherwise I wouldn't complete my plan. So this is what makes it so extremely interesting, and this is what I was just starting, this was what I was gonna write about and doing this video. Like, my soul, because since I was a teenager, I always wanted bigger breasts, okay? So my body is really petite, and so are my breasts. And this has been something that has been on my mind in my whole like adult life since I was about 16. I'm 33 today. And just recently I was like, I started to actually accept the fact that I wanted to do a breast augmentation. And my mind freaked out because there was so much fear involved with that. So I just had a past life regression session because I want to figure out like, why can my breasts not grow naturally? Because we did actually hypnosis for it and it didn't work. I did 2 times, 3 different hypnosis actually, and it didn't work. So my breasts couldn't grow on their own, which doesn't make sense from the perspective of my mind, because I know from the mind's perspective, the mind has the ability to change your whole physical body when you totally believe in it. And what I'm realizing now, how everything has unfolded so perfectly, is that your soul can also have a plan that is bigger than your mind. So if something is not happening, it might be because of your soul has a bigger plan. It has an other plan. And so did my soul. So it must have been this way. I'm like, where shall I even start? Okay, so I did all of these different hypnosis sessions for my breasts. It didn't work. And then I now started to look in, just a few months ago, I started to look into breast augmentation, and I had to heal so many fears in my mind and also from my soul, because we did a soul session, finding out that my soul is totally, or has been totally afraid of being seen, because in many past lives I've had these beautiful breasts, a very feminine body, but I was killed. I was raped, I was killed, I was ripped apart, and my soul created this massive fear of being seen and created a body that, you know, my soul has these wounds, so they had to be healed. In order for my breasts to actually start to grow or to be bigger, then I had to heal my soul. And since the soul is here to heal and to learn and to grow and expand, then my job is to heal my soul. Okay, so, okay, I was guided. Like my soul, I didn't know the whole map of geographics of Australia. I have no idea. I've never been to Australia, but my soul was like, okay, Linda, you should go to this place in Australia to do your breast augmentation. This is where like you should do it. And I checked the map after the hypnosis, and I checked my map, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is Brisbane. And then I started to Google Brisbane plastic surgery, and tears started to come to my face, because when I Googled that, the first result that came up was actually the doctor I had been feeling that I resonated with. I listened to him on YouTube. I had no idea where in Australia he was, but his plastic surgery came up as the first search results from when my soul said, you have to check out this Brisbane thing. Just from showing me on the map where I was about to go. Okay, so now I knew, I was like, okay, I have to go to Brisbane, I have to meet him. And then we did this whole soul regression where we talked to my soul. And in this hypnosis session, I actually met with the doctor. So I thought I had to go there like physically, but my soul met with him in hypnosis, and I think the karma was actually healed. So the karma that had to be healed, because apparently he used to be my dad in a past life, and he was not so good to me. He was an alcoholic, he was treating me really bad, and this relationship had to be healed in his life. So I think now that I actually heal that in the in the hypnosis session, from the soul's perspective, I managed to heal it. And now just a couple of days after that, a colleague of mine said, she was like, is there anybody that would like a breast enlargement, because I'm investigating this from the mind's perspective, if that would be possible. I was like, yeah, I want to do it. Tonight we're going to have my first session to start to make my breast grow. It will be very interesting to see, will this actually work? Because if it works, it's just showing me like, okay, my soul had to heal. Like, the whole reason why I wanted a bigger breast was that my soul could go and meet the doctor in Brisbane, and apparently I did not have to go there physically, but I could meet him in my mind's eye, heal that relationship, and then after that my breast could start to grow naturally. And if I would not have wanted bigger breasts, then I would not have healed that relationship, that karma with him. So if this makes sense to you, take your desire seriously. If I would have not started to investigate it in why I wanted bigger breasts and why, and like take it seriously, then I would not have figured all of this stuff out. And this is so extraordinary, interesting. So stop judging whatever you want in your life. Stop saying like, no, I'm not gonna have that, or it's not for me, whatever. Make it very, very interesting. Become curious in your whole process. Understand that your soul has a plan. This is why you are appealed to certain things. So if you can see things like, okay, from the mind's perspective, the mind has fears, but then also the soul has fears, and the soul is here to learn and to grow. This is extraordinary, fascinating, and I'm gonna go back to my breakfast, but I just wanted to do this little insight thing. I don't know how much sense it makes, because it was like all the stuff from different angles, but the whole point is that my whole life wanted bigger breasts. And now I understand that was because so I could heal the relationship with the man. That was the reason why I didn't have the breasts I wanted, because I needed to heal that relationship with him so I could heal my relationship with men overall, because I've had this fear of men my whole life. Since I was a baby, I was totally freaked out by men. You know, when my dad had me on his back, they have told me, like, when he carried me and we came too close to another man, I started to scream as a baby. So I've had this fear of men my whole life, and it's just making so much sense. And that I had to heal my relationship with men in order to really do what I do, in order for me to really thrive and to share my knowledge. Then I have to let go of fear, right? Because otherwise I cannot be seen. So it makes perfectly sense to me, and I hope it does for you too. And I'm super, super happy to be a part of your journey. So please, whatever, stop judge the things you want to have in your life, the desires you have. Make it interesting. See, like, wow, this is so interesting. Why do I want this? What can it actually help me to achieve? What can I heal with this? So see it from the perspective of the mind. And hopefully I will get this interview with this man that I was talking about, the book I read. So I just made him a video and I will send it to him today. And if that is aligned with what I'm about to teach and everything, what you guys need to hear and what you need to hear right now, then I'm sure that interview will happen. So with that said, I'm just wishing you a great day, and I hope this all makes sense. Please take notes. Like, after watching this video, please take notes. What did you actually understand from this? And discuss it in the Facebook group. Lots of love. Bye. So as you could see in the little picture that I did put into the video, that interview did happen and it was absolutely beautiful. So down below in the description box, I will post a link, and that video, that interview, it's included in my Master Manifestor program. So if you truly want to become a Master Manifestor and really understand how your desires are really teaching you so much about your life, and how those desires are actually about to come true into your life, then the Master Manifestor program is definitely for you. So go down below and check out that link, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the little bell so that you don't miss another update, because this is a channel for you if you truly want to live your dream life, and very soon as well to become a parent so that you can live your dream life, a very conscious life together with your future children. Sending you lots of love. Bye.